Hello, hi. I wanted to start a video blog, pretty much questions that need to be or want to be answered by me. And I got a few questions from you all, and I wanted to pretty much start a blog to where I'm answering the questions for you. Now, if you have any other questions, I would love for you to email me at bugme@therolemodelcoach.com. That's BUGME at therolemodelcoach.com, and I will definitely get it pretty much up and running. I want to try to get a video blog up every week, just like with my tips. So the video blog will be every Friday, and my new tip of the week will be every Monday. So that way, if you have any questions, you can ask me. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to talk to you about pretty much the first question that I have from one of my model friends. Her name is Siri Irum. I apologize if I said that wrong, I really do. She says, a question many models may want answered is how to get agency representation. What does it take to consider to sign you? And how do you know what agencies to apply for and which to steer away from? That's a lot of questions into one. I just want you to know that. Okay, so what we can do is we can break it down. Let's break it down to the first one. How to get agency represented. Agency representation is very different with different agencies. You have modeling agencies, you have acting, all different kinds that you can go in and venture into. Whatever you want to do in your career, if that is entertainment, dancing, singing, modeling, there's an agency for it. You have to determine what part or where you want to go within that. Then there are certain agencies such as urban agencies, mainstream agencies that you can choose from. A lot of models, when they're starting off, they try to start with the urban agencies first, which sometimes is a catch-22. You can get a lot of jobs there, but you may be typecast as that urban model. If you're trying to be international or well known as fashion, then that might not be a good idea. Most agencies would love to see a model that's halfway there, meaning you got pictures, you're young, or you kind of know how to model, and they can just throw you out there, or they can mold you just a tad and throw you out there into the castings, and you get the castings. A lot of them really don't want that well-seasoned model because they can't really tell them what to do unless they're going to make the money. When I moved to New York, it took me 2 months to find me an agency, which I felt like it was an amazing accomplishment for me because I really didn't know how to go about doing it. I just did it on my own and just took a leap. I grabbed my portfolio, which I put all these pictures in my portfolio, and I grabbed them and I took them to agencies, and every single agency pretty much took out most of my photos out of my portfolio. They say you really don't need all of these photos, okay? But what interests them is the diversity in my photos. They like that I could actually fit different categories in that agency. So one thing that I would say is if you're looking for agency representation, you have to be that niche that they're looking for. They can't have the same girls. They can't keep picking the same women and then you all compete and then it's a mess. They want people who have a different look, a different niche, someone who can fit in diverse and mold into different kind of categories. One day you can be urban, next day you can be couture, next day you can be fashion, all of these different things. Now if you're versatile like that, that's when agencies really want to scoop you up. Seriously, they love all of that stuff. All right, now there are pretty much certain agencies that they say they're agencies and they're really not agencies. I'm not going to say any names, but any agency that makes you pay any money up front without a guarantee of anything, it's not an agency that you need to be in. Most agencies add you on. They say, okay, we want you to sign this contract and we want you to look over this contract. They certainly have a percentage that they take out, and it's usually 15 to 25. Never heard of anything more than 25% coming out of an agency. And that's not including hairstylists, travel, all of these different things that will add up when you're in an agency. And I will break that down a little bit later in this video blog. For now, I wanted to explain the agencies that you need to stay away from. Any agency that asks you to pay $1,200 to $1,400 up front and is going to teach you to model and then send you somewhere, that's not a place to go, because you know why? School is kind of good, but at the same time, there's no guarantee that you'll get into an agency or that you'll get a major campaign, because that's all up to you. With agencies, real agencies, they either have you pay for like a website fee, which they can come out of your first real paycheck that you get, your first paid gig, all of these different things. So instead of them making you pay something up front, pay attention to that. If an agency says they're an agency and they say, well, you got hired, now you got to pay us $1,500 to start and then we'll send you off, that is not a real agency. Okay? An agency sees the potential, goes out for it, and then makes you go and get it, and then they receive something in benefit or in return. A lot of things with agencies that people do not understand when you get into an agency is there are a lot of expenses that pretty much build up while you're in that agency. And a lot of models that say, oh, I'm agency represented, are still broke. Okay? Still broke. Because you have your 20% of the agency that they take out. Then let's say you flew to LA for a casting. Gotta pay for that. Or you don't have anywhere to stay and you stay in New York and you stay in a model house and it's $1,200 a month. And you don't have any gigs. Gotta pay for that. Let's say you have a makeup hairstylist and you go on a photo shoot. Guess what? So all of these things add up. And then when you get your check and you say, man, I made $30,000 on this campaign, and you come out and you only get $10,000, that's because all of those expenses that you incurred while you're there, they paid it off on that. And you're broke. So you have to determine and decide if you're going to be in an agency. Sometimes you can be an exclusive contract, a non-exclusive contract. An exclusive contract, you can only be with that agency. Non-exclusive, you can go to different states and things like that, or different areas, modeling, acting, all of these different things, and you can go into different agencies as well. So I would highly recommend the non-exclusive agency unless you're with a huge brand that is going to offer and guarantee you about 3 campaigns a year, which is solely up to you. Especially when it comes to black models, you definitely have to go for the gusto a little harder and show yourself a little bit, show your personality a little bit more. I know it sucks that women of color or models of color have to jump through this extra high hoop to get there, but you'll appreciate it that much more. I swear you will, when you get to that level of the point where you don't have to worry about the expenses that the agency has taken out. So thank you so much for listening to my questions being answered by TC Blog. I am going to have a layback blog for everyone to go and check out and look and try to get any pointers. If you have any questions for me, any questions that pertaining into entertainment, field, modeling field, or even just motivational speaking for single women or for children, you can contact me. I do model coaching as well as motivational speaking for adults as well as children. I look forward to hearing from you all and your questions. I have a few more questions, so stay tuned for next week, and I hope you like this one. It was very lengthy, but I'm going to learn how to cut it down just a tad bit. But thank you so much, and I appreciate you. And make sure you tune in to theworldmodelcoach.com.